destiny.
Commander.
We are no reverence. What's the plan? GSL. In the service of ire.
Welcome to the GSL Code A. I am Draco Malfoy, and with me is Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. How are you feeling today?
I feel awesome. We just saved the world a few days ago, and well, I'm back to my normal power level.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
I was just recently expelled, but I can still commentate the GSL. It's going to be alright.
Don't worry, Hermione loves you. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's the real secret. That's the real story here.
Yeah, who's Harry?
Who's Harry, man?
But guys, well, who are the players that we have today? This is the last day of Code A. We have the last round, of course. The winners are advancing to Code S, and the losers find themselves in the up and downs.
Now, speaking of our joke that we just made earlier, I actually tweeted, retweet if Kaldor is Krillin from Dragon Ball Z.
I disagree, by the way. I deserve to be at least Piccolo, maybe Nappa, I can see Tien Shinhan, but Krillin is just a weakling, I'm sorry.
And he tweeted, retweet if Proxy Wolf is Draco Malfoy, of course,
Look
from
at
Harry
that
Potter.
hair. Seriously,
So,
look at that hair.
go and retweet those tweets. Whoever has the most retweets, I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to see which one gets more retweets. I'm kind of curious if I resemble Draco Malfoy or he resembles Krillin more.
If the Draco tweet actually gets more, can I shave your head?
No, you can't shave my head, but we may have to think of something, some sort of appropriate.
You can make suggestions. If you have a good idea what we could actually do, then do it. But since someone mentioned it, I can't unsee it. Every single time I'm like, I'm calling Dumbledore.
I take it as a compliment. I know you're not as keen on the Krillin thing, but
not really. Krillin always loses.
Well,
He's
I
like,
mean,
what?
He may lose, but he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I would much rather be one of the badass characters, but well, whatever. A couple of badass players that we have today, though, are the guys that we are going to see within the next few hours. We are starting things off today with the Zerg versus Zerg. I guess we're actually having a look at the lineup pretty soon.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget the Code S finals down there. I don't really need to say it. You guys probably already know. The information's even on the screen, but you better be watching that. Better watching it in high quality with your friends on a big TV at a BarCraft or here in Seoul. If you don't do one of those things, I guess you can watch with your cat. That's fine.
Yeah, cats are cool. Dogs, not so much.
Yeah, dogs, I don't know about that, but cat, that's fine.
I'm actually more of a dog person, but for StarCraft, they always mess up the micro. The macro is horrible.
I feel like dogs just don't really quite understand the game.
Yeah, it's like their meta game is not good enough.
They're after they make their first two workers, they're like, food, where is it? And I'm like, listen, just stay focused, okay?
Where did I bury this bone? Where did I hide it? They're good at scouting, but that's all that's
like a drops come in their base and they're like freaking out because they actually heard a siren. They start howling.
They are gonna sniff out that probe, I can tell you.
They definitely will find the probe.
But today, let's have a look at the players that we are going to see today. We have in our first match Sirius up against another Zerg player. He's playing against Sniper today, so ZVZ. And this is actually a pretty interesting mirror match, especially since we've seen already a couple of crazy games yesterday with DRG and Roro. But let's look at the match list.
Now, here are, of course, yesterday's results, starting things off with Maru versus JYP, who was able to take the 2-0. Then Curious took out Mini, and that was followed up by Holt, aka John Connor, taking out the Terminator. And last but not least, Roro was able to defeat Dongregyu. So one Castle player did fall, but Roro was able to prevail.
Exactly, Roro finds himself in Code S already. DRG has to play the up and downs. And of course, let's have also a look at what we're going to see today. Here they are. Game number 1, Sirius against Sniper. SOS, aka Shy, has to deal with a seed. That's definitely going to be an interesting match. Later on, we have Bogus versus Happy in a Terran Mirror match, and the last game of the day will be Trap against Gumiho.
So we've got one of every mirror, and then we have a Protoss versus Terran. A pretty interesting lineup of matches today. It's the Day of Mirrors, the Hall of Mirrors. Welcome to it. Now, if we see anything like what we saw yesterday in Sirius versus Sniper, the games are going to be epic. We saw Roro actually just be so far behind in a game. It was 40 to 20 drones. He was able to come back and win it. It was basically a miracle.
His micro in the fights was just way better. He fungled so many of the infested Swarmix and infested Terrans of his opponent and was able to really come through. But yeah, he should, at least the game on Ahana, he was so far behind. There was actually no way for him to come back, but somehow he pulled it off. And DRG lost without winning a single map. Now we have another Zerg versus Zerg, though. Sirius playing really well this season so far. And he is up against MVP Sniper, a very strong Zerg opponent. I could see this go either way.
Yeah, I really could. Sirius is on the rise right now. This would be basically his greatest accomplishment. If he's able to go all the way from Code B all the way to Code S, he's never done anything like that so far in his career just yet.
Yeah, the guy defeated MMA in the last round, and in game number 1, in the first round of Code A, he defeated Salmosa, so he already played a Zerg versus Zerg that he prepared for, whereas his opponent only played against Terran and another, 2 Terrans actually. Just checking that out. His opponent was Keen.
Let's get that booth shot. There it is. Sirius up against Sniper. Your map number 1 is going to be Cloud Kingdom. And these guys are no pun intended, pretty serious about this match. Whoever wins will take that Code S spot. We've got 4 to give away today.
And the game is going to start any second. Cloud Kingdom, map number 1 in our Zerg versus Zerg. It is FXO versus MVP. We have 2 Zerg players today. Who's going to advance to Code S? We are going to find out in just a few seconds. The game is live. Let's get the show started. The 3rd round of Code A, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Colin Wolf. Starting to the top right in red, we have the player for FXO. He did really well in this GSL Code A season so far, was able to defeat MMA. He is
FXO Sirius.
Why FXO Sirius?
Why so serious? Well, we're gonna find out. Maybe he's cracking a smile later on. That is if he's able to win against his opponent to the bottom left. Starting in blue for Team MVP, it is
MVP Sniper.
Funny builder situation here. Sirius making his overlord on 10 actually, making it look like he was going to 10 pool, and he didn't.
And we have an 8 pool for Sirius here.
Yeah. Pool made on 9, but of course it goes down to 8 when the pool is finished.
Oh, you're actually right. Yeah, you built a 9 pool, not an 8 pool. My bad.
So it was almost a situation where we had one player go on pool first against a. Both players going pool first with 1 drone difference. That would have been like really interesting to see how they microed it out in the middle of the map. But as it stands, Sirius is actually continuing drone production, and if he doesn't start his pool right away, I think he's going to go hatch first and just start another drone.
And this is of course now bad news. If you start with such an early pool build, you can do so much aggression. Even with the 10 pool, you can do damage if your opponent goes for a hatch first build. But Sirius is really moving out now with this drone. He wants to get this hatch, and with the 9 pool build, this is just bad news for him because his lings and also his pool will be very late. You can already see that the Zerglings for his opponent are nearly completed, and he didn't even start his spawning.
He made 2 extra drones.
He's playing super greedy here. He's really taking a risk, and Sniper's gonna punish him.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Sirius, how he met his end in the Harry Potter, perhaps.
He's gonna be in serious trouble.
He's gonna be in serious trouble, man. He's not gonna be able to have any conversations in the fireplace with Flue Powder about it. He's not gonna be around because he actually went gas before pool.
He plays it super greedy, and if Sniper goes for a normal build, then yeah, he will be ahead, but as it is, the only thing that Sniper has to do, run straight into the main base and take down harvests. He can even cancel the spawning pool.
Yeah. He will be able to if he wants to. The thing is, he doesn't know how greedy he's been in the main, but he's just going to be able to kill the hatch, which is going to put him in a great spot.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised that he's now going straight for the hatch. He's waiting for the rest of the Zerglings, which is kind of smart, but he gives Sirius time to
see, now it's cool. And now it's like he should be thinking, well, Sirius should have lings coming down here now.
There's the cancel in just a second.
Oh, that was a crazy late cancel there. That was awesome.
The pool is done, and now the micro is, of course, essential. Sirius has to do a good job, but there are so many Zerglings already. Actually, Sniper can just fight. He doesn't even have to play this game.
Yeah, he's just playing it, though. He's done so much damage to the drones already, a few of them already gone. Really nice micro by Sirius though.
Yeah, really great micro, but now the Harvester count is identical and he's losing even more. He just can't save all these drones. Just look at it. All of them already down to the red. Now the Zerglings are out though, and look how many of these drones are down to like 5 hit points. If he gets another few hits off, he will diminish the drone count of Sirius like crazy.
His micro here is absolutely superb. He lost too many, but you know, a lesser player would have actually just lost everything then.
He still lost the game now. The thing is, of course, if Sniper screws this up, then he might still lose, but everything is stacked against Sirius. The drone count is 18 to 10. We have the expansion nearly completed for Sniper. He has a few less Zerglings than his opponent, but he will be able to rebuild these quite fast. He also has a Queen, the second Queen nearly up, so he has every advantage in the game, like every advantage. The expansion is ready as Sirius drops his own. He's so far ahead in this game.
Yeah, he's got the Queen to block if he wants to with some Lings. And Sirius, I mean, if he mines gas at this point to make a Baneling Nest, he's just not even going to have any real resources to use anything with it. So he's actually just pulled out of gas entirely to get that speed. And, I mean, that's the one advantage he's going to have, but it's not really going to do anything for him.
It shouldn't. If Sniper doesn't make any big mistakes now, then he will win this game. With a lead this big in the early game, it's very tough, very hard to lose. It could have been better. You were perfectly right about that, by the way. The micro of Sirius was really good. I feel that Sniper could have been committing a bit more and then might have been able to kill at least 3 or 4 additional drones. But as it is, Sirius was able to save a few. But he's just so far behind. Double Queen now and this Spinecrawler.
Yeah, he's got the Lings to block the ramp as well there. And Sirius, he may actually just type out GG spontaneously here in a moment because he's got to realize that there's absolutely no way for him to come back in this game. He can actually just the Sniper, of course, could make a Roach Warren here at this point. He wants to play it safe, though. He's getting the Baneling Nest.
Sirius wants to test the waters now. He knows that he's far behind in the game, but of course he wants to wait for what exactly Sniper is going to do. He has to take a risk here, and he is droning up now, but he is still 10 Harvesters behind his opponent. He can't put on more aggression. We have now the Baneling Nest coming up, and Sniper can just execute a big attack now. He can build a lot of Zerglings and can just go for it as soon as his speed is done.
Yeah. My voice, that was a little bit weird there. It sounded like a puppy or something, but
like inhaled helium.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Actually, a yapping as it came out of my mouth right then. But Sirius is in serious trouble. The only kind of trouble that you find yourself in after this type of build order. He's getting his Overlord now, but he's been supply blocked for so long. And, you know, not only did he lose so many drones in the early game, but he had to run them around for forever, so he lost so much mining as well.
Sniper's just running in and checking out what exactly his opponent has at the natural, and he knows now that he's up against the Spinecrawler and the Queen. There is no Banelings, so he will have the advantage with the Banelings that he controls and can just run them straight into the mineral line. And of course, he's transitioning into Roaches already.
Oh, that was a pretty good hit already.
Yeah, it could have been a bit better, but there were a few Zerglings, and now he's getting straight to the main base. He's actually just running past. This is bad news again.
He will just be able to kill everything here. The last of the drones in the main base are starting to fall before Banelings even connected. And Queen gets into a choke point, but it's not enough. GG.
There it is. Sniper takes game number 1. Underlines once more that he's in such a good shape these days. Takes his win here. He was already in Code S. He wants to get back into Code S. And if he continues playing like this, he will be able to pull off, of course. The early game was just, it was basically a build order loss. We have an awesome picture that was actually just tweeted at us earlier. We complained a little bit about that cats cannot play StarCraft, and sorry, that dogs can't play StarCraft, right?
Yeah.
But we got a picture that proves us to be wrong, Wolf. Sorry, Malfoy.
Yeah, shoutouts to Sharon and Cole.
Yeah, we just retweeted that thing, and it's actually quite funny. We have now Sniper in a 1-0 lead though, and game number 2 is going to be Antigua Shipyard. You know, this is also a map where you can go for a gamble, especially if you're 1 game up. You can just go once again for an early pool and try and hope that your opponent is starting with an expansion first. It's a little bit unlikely, but still, after what he just did on the last map.
Well, I don't think he's going to be cutting corners like that this time. basically, he just walked into the Ministry of Magic with no disguise. And listen, have you seen the wanted posters for this guy? Sirius Black everybody knows who he is, man. He's not going to be able to get in there, at least not without changing into dog forms. Speaking of dogs, it seems appropriate. Maybe Sirius, if he changed to his dog form here, would have had a better chance at holding that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, talking about me being either Krillin or another one of the DBZ characters, does my final form have hair?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
I just don't think so. We'll have to wait until it actually appears, like, in reality before I can say for certain, but if I had to predict, just based on the pattern I've observed so far,
Draco, I'm not quite sure if I can agree here. Alright, let's get this started. Game number 2 coming up. Sirius up against Sniper. The MVP Zerg is in the lead. Is Sirius able to win on Antigua Shipyard? We're gonna find out right now here at the GSL Code A, the last round.